In 2015, I had one of the safest jobs in Silicon Valley. I was running Y Combinator. Every week, I met founders who would later build billion-dollar companies. Every investor returned my calls. Every career path was open. And that's exactly why the next decision didn't make sense. Most people think big outcomes come from dramatic risks taken early. They don't. They come from recognizing when the rules of the game quietly change. At the time, artificial intelligence was considered useful, but narrow. Good for ads, good for recommendations. Interesting, but contained. I didn't see it that way. I saw a general-purpose technology, the kind that reshapes labor, power, and opportunity. And once you see something like that clearly, the hardest part isn't building it. It's walking away from everything that already works. I didn't grow up trying to be rich. I wasn't chasing status. I was interested in systems, how technology shifts incentives, how markets form, how small technical changes create massive second-order effects. Dropping out of Stanford wasn't rebellion, it was focus. I wanted to build and learn in real environments, not optimize for credentials. What I learned early is simple. Most people wait for consensus, but consensus only forms after the opportunity is obvious and overpriced. The internet rewarded people who moved early. So did mobile. So did cloud computing. Each time, early builders looked irrational. Later, they looked inevitable. At Y Combinator, I saw hundreds of startups. Effort wasn't the differentiator. Everyone worked hard. What mattered was timing, clarity of thought, and leverage. By 2014, I was president of YC. The job was influential, comfortable, stable. But comfort has a cost. It shortens your time horizon. Around that period, AI conversations kept resurfacing. Not hype, research papers, scaling laws, compute curves. Progress wasn't flashy, it was compounding. OpenAI didn't begin as a traditional startup. It had serious funding, serious backers, serious expectations. But it lacked certainty. There was no clear product, no proven market, no guarantee that scaling would even work. Most smart people avoid that kind of uncertainty. They prefer problems with known answers. What mattered to me was asymmetry. If it failed, the downside was manageable. If it worked, it would redefine computing. That's not recklessness. That's calculated exposure. From 2016 to 2019, progress was slow. Models failed. Infrastructure bottlenecks appeared. Internal debates intensified. Breakthroughs didn't arrive on schedule. They arrived after iteration. From the outside, it looked quiet. From the inside, it was exhausting. This is the middle most stories skip. Not failure, just uncertainty. With larger models, something unexpected happened. Capabilities emerged that weren't explicitly programmed. Language, reasoning, generalization. Systems began to feel less like tools and more like infrastructure. That shift matters. It's the difference between software and a platform that others build on. ChatGPT wasn't revolutionary because it was impressive. It was revolutionary because it was intuitive. For the first time, people could interact with intelligence directly. No APIs, no training, just conversation. That kind of interface shift happens rarely. The web browser, the smartphone, now this. Once users feel it, there's no going back. People talk about hard work as if it's the key variable. It isn't. The real drivers are leverage, technology, capital, networks, timing. Hard work matters, but only when applied to systems that scale. Most people optimize their present, a few position for the future. That difference compounds. This isn't about motivation. It's about clarity. When you see a foundational shift clearly, the question stops being, is this risky? It becomes, can I afford not to understand this? History rewards people who position early, think long-term, and accept uncertainty. That's what was understood. And that's where leverage begins. But here's what most people miss. Leverage isn't just about the outcome. It's about the choices you make when nobody's watching. In 2016, when models were failing, when investors were nervous, when the board was fighting, I had a choice. Walk away, go back to comfort, take the safe path, or keep building in the dark. Most people quit before the breakthrough, not because they lack talent, but because they can't tolerate uncertainty. You know what separates billion-dollar founders from everyone else? It's not intelligence, it's not connections, it's not even luck. It's the willingness to look stupid. For years, I looked stupid from 2016 to 2019, 3 full years. People said, "Sam's wasting his career on AI research. OpenAI will never compete with Google. He should have stayed at Y Combinator." And you know what? They were rational to say that, because from the outside, it looked like a bad bet. But I wasn't playing the outside game, I was playing the long game. November 30th, 2022, we launched ChatGPT. Day 1, 100,000 users. Day 5, 1 million users. 2 months, 100 million users. Fastest product adoption in human history. Faster than Facebook, faster than Instagram, faster than TikTok. And suddenly, everyone's an expert. "Oh, I always knew AI was coming." Yeah, I saw this years ago. Sam Altman got lucky. Lucky? Let me tell you about lucky. Lucky is winning the lottery. Lucky is inheritance. Lucky is being born into wealth. I spent 7 years in the dark. 7 years betting everything. 7 years while everyone said I was wasting my time. That's not luck, that's conviction. You think getting rich is about money? It's not. Getting rich is about being free. Free to work on what matters. Free to say no to bullshit. Free to take risks without fear. Free to build on your timeline, not someone else's. Most people trade their entire lives for a paycheck. They optimize for safety. They avoid risk. And then they wonder why they're not free. Wealth isn't the bank account, it's the options. It's waking up and choosing what you work on. It's saying no to projects you don't believe in. It's betting on yourself without asking for permission. And here's the thing. Right now, we're sitting on the biggest shift in human history. AI isn't coming, it's here. AGI isn't a fantasy. It's 3 years away, maybe less. And whoever figures out how to use intelligence as a tool, not just a toy, will own the next decade. But most people, they're sitting on the sidelines saying, "AI is scary. I don't understand it. I'll wait and see what happens." You know what that is? That's consensus thinking, and consensus thinking makes you average. So here's your choice. You can wait for permission, or you can build. You can follow the crowd, or you can see what's coming. You can play it safe, or you can bet on your vision. You can quit when it gets hard, or you can survive the doubt. You can optimize for comfort, or you can optimize for impact. Will you listen to critics, or will you trust your gut? Will you wait until you're ready, or will you start before you feel ready? Will you build what exists, or will you build what should exist? Will you build the future, or will you watch someone else build it? I'm not the smartest person in Silicon Valley. I'm not the best coder. I'm not the most charismatic, but I was willing to look stupid for 7 years. And most people, they aren't willing to look stupid for 7 days. Here's what I know for certain. The next decade belongs to the people who position early, who think long-term, and who accept uncertainty. You were born with gifts. Maybe you're smart. Maybe you're technical. Maybe you're creative. Cool. You didn't earn that. But here's what you can be proud of. Your choices. Because gifts, they're given, but choices, they're earned. And every single day, you're making a choice. Are you building, or are you waiting? Are you learning, or are you scrolling? Are you betting on yourself, or are you playing it safe? Those choices compound. And in 10 years, they'll be the difference between the life you have and the life you wish you had. The clothes I chose to build. And 7 years later, we didn't just create a product. We didn't just create a company. We created the future. Your turn. Please watch our last video on Jensen Huang. If you really enjoy our video, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.